Dr. Hilary Jones slammed Nicki Minaj on Wednesday's Good Morning Britain over claims she made over possible side effects of the COVID-19 vaccine. Dr. Hilary Jones has blasted Nicki Minaj over a tweet where she claimed her cousin's friend in Trinidad became impotent and called off his wedding after receiving the COVID vaccine. The Good Morning Britain resident slammed the damaging claim after being asked his opinion by hosts Richard Madeley and Susanna Reid. Nicki tweeted, "My cousin in Trinidad won't get the vaccine cause his friend got it, and became impotent. His testicles became swollen. His friend was weeks away from getting married, now the girl called off the wedding. So just pray on it, and make sure you're comfortable with your decision, not bullied." Richard began, "She has 22 million followers, she has no comprehension that that ridiculous tweet actually does do real damage." Dr. Hilary, "The trouble is if you include vaccine and impotent in a tweet to 22 million people, what impact is that going to have?" Susanna asked. He replied, "A damaging impact. I can think of many reasons why a young man might develop swollen bits and call off his marriage, and having the COVID-19 vaccine isn't one of them. It potentially does huge damage. People look at those two things together and think, I'm not having it." She later said, "No one understood my sarcasm and sense of humor, but it isn't funny, it's very damaging and dangerous." He continued. "And we've seen too many people, haven't we, who unfortunately have suffered and lost their lives," Susanna noted. "And particularly high-profile people in the States who've spread the anti-vaccine message. There's so much information and misinformation, and there's a big job to do to counteract that," Dr. Hilary said. "But 5.5 million people in this country still haven't been vaccinated who are eligible, and they are part of the problem. We've seen a number of cases rising all the time, schools going back and businesses going back. We're going to see more cases, and if that translates to more hospitalizations, we're going to be in trouble," Hilary concluded. On Tuesday, Professor Chris Whitty condemned the rapper's claims during a Downing Street news conference. He said, "There are a number of myths that fly around, some of which are just clearly ridiculous and some of which are clearly designed just to scare. That happens to be one of them. There are people that go around trying to discourage other people from taking a vaccine which could be life-saving or prevent them from having life-changing injuries to themselves. Many of those people, I regret to say, will know they are peddling untruths, but they still do it. In my view, they should be ashamed," he concluded. Boris Johnson added, "I am not as familiar with the works of Nicki Minaj as I probably should be. But I am familiar with Nikki Kanani, a superstar GP of Bexley who has appeared many times before you, who will tell you vaccines are wonderful and everybody should get them. That's why I prefer to listen to Nikki Kanani."